Working in a coal mine, going down, down, down. Working in a coal mine, about to slip down. Working in a coal mine, going down, down, down. Working in a coal mine, about to slip down. 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm already up and gone.
Hey everybody, welcome. There's a new game publisher out there. They're called X-Axis, and not long ago they approached me about previewing an upcoming Kickstarter of theirs. And the name of the game we're going to be having a look at today is called Mining Maniac. The theme is that you are in control of your own mining corporation and you're competing with other players mining and selling minerals and commodities, and the object being the player with the most money at the end of a year's time is the winner. It's sort of a speculation game where you're trying to figure out what the price of the different minerals and commodities you're mining is going to be doing in the future, and then trying to sell the commodities that you mine for the highest price. Along the way, you're choosing different characters to try to use their special ability to sabotage other players or give special abilities to yourself. So the version I have here plays 2 to 6 players, although I understand that the market release will be a 2 to 4 player game with an expansion planned for the 5th and 6th. So let's get to the table and have a look at Mining Maniac. Quick overview of the components. You're given some yellow wooden cylinders. These represent workers that you will be purchasing and using to mine resources. They give you a wooden D6, some bonus mineral tokens. There are currency tokens here in $10, $5, and $1 denominations. Quick word, everything you see here, this is a review prototype of the game. It is not finalized. But my understanding is these components are more or less the final version that you'll be seeing in the public release of the game. I've been told that these tokens are going to be made thicker for the mass-produced version of the game. But that's the currency you'll be spending. In addition, there are some very nice play aids that come with the game, with character descriptions of the different characters in the game on one side, along with an outline of the turn sequence for each round on the other. Here are the cards that you'll be using in the game. There is a single starting player card. The starting player will always be the first person to select which character they want to use. There are resource cards here. These resource cards are the different minerals and metals that you can mine in the game. Up next to this pickaxe, it'll tell you how many workers are required to successfully mine this commodity and how many units of that commodity are in that card. So these are what you're going to be mining and collecting throughout the game. You have these character cards. Each character has a rank number. These are the numbers. These numbers are the order in which players will take their turn during a round, and each one of these characters will have a special skill. For example, the trader can have an extra sell action during his turn. There's the market controller. He can change the market prices of different commodities. Project manager, he can split workers into 2 teams to go collect 2 different resources to mine. A recruiter, she can pick up an extra worker at the beginning of each round. And yeah, there are cards like the corporate spy that you can use to try and sabotage other players. Fortune tellers that'll give you a look into future incident cards. So yeah, and players will be selecting a different character card each turn, and trying to make the most of their special abilities. Next up, we've got these incident cards. 12 of these are used in a game, with each card representing 1 month of gameplay. Each round is 1 month long. And each one of these incidents will have different random events taking place, such as underestimation. That's when you'll get to put one of these bonus tiles on a particular mineral and make it more valuable. Industrial accidents, mines can collapse and destroy a player's inventory of a certain commodity. Volunteer workers, market adjustments will change the price of certain minerals. All kinds of different random events can take place. Some that will help you, many will harm you, but these give the game that random factor. And next up, there are these price cards, and they simply will denote the current market value of each mineral. There is a mounted market price board, and it has spots for all the different minerals that you will mine and try to sell during the course of the game. And this is where these mineral commodity price cards go. You'll set the game up dealing these out at random, and this sets the price for each named commodity. At the beginning of each round, these prices will shift, with the future price moving to copper, the price on gems rotating around to the end. So each turn, cards will rotate so that you can kind of forecast what the price of different commodities will be doing in future turns. Also, you can adjust the price down or up for a commodity depending on random incident cards. There's a full color glossy rulebook, 8 pages of rules, with the 9th and 10th pages being just descriptions of the different incident cards. Plenty of helpful illustrations that will demonstrate different mechanics in the game. These rules are not bad. I do have a few comments that I'll be making at the end of the video, though, about this rule book. Here's the end, where it's got the incident card description and a glossary of some of the game turns, and then on the back cover is an FAQ. And a nice, thick, sturdy box. Set up the game by randomizing your price cards, and then dealing them out on the market price board. You're going to randomize all of the incident cards, and then deal out a stack of 12 incident cards, setting the rest aside back in the box. They won't be used in the game. You're going to randomize all of your resource cards and set up a 3x3 map, setting aside the rest of your resource cards to draw from later. Each player is given 2 worker tokens and $4 of money to start the game with. Players, using whatever method they prefer, will choose who the starting player will be. For us, it was a random die roll. A typical round begins with the initial price rotation. Now the starting player takes the character cards, which have been randomized now, and burns one off the top of the deck and sets it aside face down. And then the starting player will go through and select which character he wants to play for this turn, and selects it, keeping it a secret from other players, passing the deck around in clockwise fashion to allow the other players to then select their characters for the turn. unselected character cards get thrown in with the burned character card so that players have no idea what other players have selected for their characters. Next, the starting player turns over and reveals the unexpected incident card for the coming turn. This time around, we got an underestimation of gem prices. So any player that gets gems in their inventory on this turn, it will increase in value by $1, and the player will place one of these bonus mineral tokens on their gem cards. Now, each player will get a turn during the round, and the way turn order is decided is the starting player will begin calling out rank numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. And when the starting player calls out your rank number, that is when you flip over your character card, revealing who it is and what their special ability is, and then that player will take their turn. Once that player has taken his turn, the starting player will go back to calling out rank numbers until the next player reveals his starting card, etc. So let's run through a quick turn. Once your rank is called, first thing you do is you reveal your character and you implement their special ability. For example, here we have the Contagious Worker. Name a character now, not another player, whom you want to sabotage. When the player with this character is revealed, he must discard half of his workers, rounded up, at the beginning of his turn. So let's say we'll name the Traitor. Then in that case, the Traitor, when his turn comes up, assuming one of the other players picked the Traitor, he would have to throw out one of his workers. So, that's the first step in a turn. Next up, you're going to roll 1d6 to reveal some of the cards on the mining map. So, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a 2. So, we reveal all 3 cards in the second row. We've got 2 gems and a copper. Now, if there had been cards already turned over from a previous turn, and say I rolled a 4, then what I would do is I would turn these face up and then turn this one face down. But for now, we've got gem, gem, copper. Now there's 3 things you can do during your monthly routine phase. You can hire, you can sell, or you can mine. And you can pick 2 out of these 3 actions to take for your turn. So if you want to hire some more workers, for example, you can hire up to 4 workers in a turn for $1 apiece. Let's go ahead and hire 3 workers out of the worker pool for $3. You can mine. So for example, this gem card up here, we see it's going to take 5 workers to mine this gem card. So we could spend our 5 workers and take this gem card. Mined commodities are immediately replaced with a face-down resource card. And then the third action we could take, now remember you can only take 2 actions per turn, but there's a third action that you could take on, say, a future turn. You could sell. So we could sell this gem card. There are 4 units of gem on this card. And right now we can see that gem is selling for $2 per unit. So we could sell our gem card for $10. And then play proceeds to the next player in rank order, etc., etc. Once all players have had a chance to take their turn, the round is over. The next round begins with price rotation, a new round of character selection, and the next month's unexpected incident. Players proceed through the incident deck until the 12th round. Once you've hit the 12th and final round, you're going to turn over the final incident card, implement its effect. The players each get one more turn, and then after that 12th turn is over, players total up their money, and whoever has the most money at the end of the 12th turn is the winner. Okay, Mining Maniac. I'm sorry to say that this game was not a hit at my house. It's a very light game, but the theme of mining felt very tacked on to us. It really could be anything that you're purchasing with workers and then selling for the highest price. The components are nicely done. The cards are fairly evocative of the theme, I suppose, but it really felt tacked on to us. Very shallow theme-wise. In addition to that, I'm more of a deep strategy gamer, whereas my family prefer lighter, funner games, more party type games, and it really didn't strike a chord for any of us. I like the notion of speculating and trying to get the right commodities and hang on to them until you can sell them at the right time, but really those kinds of options aren't available to you in this game. The incident cards that you're flipping over for each round, representing a month of game time, create such incredible swings of luck that perhaps you've been accumulating one certain commodity with the thought that, okay, the prices are rotating, it's coming around, I'm going to be able to sell my copper for $3 a unit coming up in the next couple turns. Well, there could be a mine collapse or some other disaster that befalls you and completely wipes you out. By the same token, you could have a wild swing of luck the other way. In addition, we found we were spending more time each turn just running the game as opposed to playing it. Rotating the market cards, selecting the characters, and then going through the rigmarole of calling out rank numbers, player number 1, player number 2, player number 3. Just running the game seemed to take the most time, and the actual playing of the game on a turn is very quick, and it begins to feel repetitive after a while. And these factors put together, really by turn 5 or 6 at our table, everybody started shooting the furtive looks back and forth, and by turn 7 we were saying, hey, you guys want to play something else? It really fell flat, I'm afraid. This game just didn't strike a chord in our house. Sorry to say. So, it's a very light game. This game might appeal to someone maybe taking their very first baby steps into more thematic games, taking those first steps past Trivial Pursuit. But it's probably one that's not going to spend a whole lot of time on your table. Good for a play or two, and then, you're going to be moving on pretty quick. So, sorry I can't give this a more positive review, but that's the way it went over in my house. So, anyway, that was Mining Maniac. It should be on Kickstarter soon. It is published by X-Axis and designed by Andrea Tsang. That's going to be it. If you'd like to see more of my reviews and game playthroughs, hope you'll head over to my YouTube channel and hit the subscribe button. Until next time, happy gaming.